Okay, now we are being recorded. So, hi everyone. Yeah, so my name is Catherine Flynn, and I'm a project manager at ISEKI-Food Association. And you see with me Line Lindner, and she is also project manager, and we are among the organizers. She says hi to everyone. We are among the organizers of this competition. And at this meeting today, this introductory meeting, we have team members from 10 teams around the world. We also have some of your faculty advisors, and we also have some other members of the advisory board, those who will determine the winning team. So I want to lead you through the couple of logos that we have on this introductory slide. You see in the upper left, the European Food Staff and ISEKI-Food Association, and we are the organizers of the competition. On the bottom left, you see Next Food. Next Food is a European project that is sponsoring this competition, and we're doing research, Line and I, for Next Food as you participate in the competition. In the bottom right, you see the European Union flag because Next Food is a European project, and that's where our funding comes from. And then in the upper right, you see FoodFactory-4-Us. This is an international student competition game that has been going since 2017, even before the Next Food funding arrived. So let's see if I can advance. Yeah. Here we have a couple of ground rules for our online trainings. You all know that this competition takes place entirely online. We ask you to please keep a nice ambiance, and that means that you mute your microphone when you're not talking. Also, please try and keep your camera on as much as possible. We all like to see what everyone else looks like. And please, when you do talk, use your headset. I see several of you have your headsets already. And this way we can hear much more clearly. And finally, I remind you to please stay focused. I know it's hard when the refrigerator is right there and we're in our home. It's easy to lose focus. All of our meetings are 1 hour. So I think that we can all manage for 1 hour to stay right where we are. Said we have 10 teams in this year's Food Factory-4-Us competition. And here you see the names of the 10 teams. And you see also that we have teams coming from several continents, including from Europe, from Africa, from South America. So we're really excited to have such a diversity of teams this competition. And here on the right, you see the members of the advisory board. And you see here that we have an advisory board based in Europe, which is where ISEKI-Food is based, and also because we are a European project. But you see that we have people that are in academia, and we have people that are in industry, and we have people working for nonprofit associations. So we are a diverse group, both students and advisory board. This is what we will talk about today. We'll spend the first 5 or 10 minutes telling you about the history of this competition and the theory. Some of you may have realized from the website that it's a little more than a competition. You are also participating in our research project. So Line will tell you what that's all about. Then we'll have a 15-minute session where we do a group work. We will separate you into breakout groups, and you will be with people on other teams. So hopefully this will be an exciting moment to meet your fellow competitors from around the world. Then we'll all come back together and we'll talk about some practical stuff. What exactly are the requirements for your team and how your team project will be evaluated. And then we'll end with you having the floor for any questions or any comments that you might have. I'll tell you briefly about this competition. It began in 2017 with the bright idea of one of our colleagues, Professor Paola Pittia of the University of Teramo in Italy. And she had the idea to start an international student competition where the competition was focused on solving a real problem that is present in the food industry. And you see that some of the earlier competitions had different focuses, one on shelf life, one on beverages, and the focus, of our competition is on food biodiversity. It's very important that your project identifies a specific problem relating to food biodiversity, and that your project then presents a solution to that problem. During the competition, we'll have several, in fact, 6 online trainings. This is the first one. And then at the final virtual conference in early 2021, all of the teams will present their projects and the winning team will be announced. And the board, as I showed you earlier, from academia and industry, they are the ones, there are 5 or 6 of us, that all of our scores are averaged, and this is how the winning team is chosen. I want to mention here that a part of the evaluation is your participation in these online trainings. So we encourage you to have all the members of your team participate. This has been the story of the Food Factory for Us competition since 2017 when it started. But in 2019, the competition took a different turn because it became a part of the Next Food project. And as a part of the Next Food project, Line and I began to do research on the competition. So now you are not only competitors, but you are also data points for our research. So with that, I turn it to Line, and she will tell you, oops, sorry, I forgot that I had this information about the Next Food project. And now I turn it to Line, and she will tell you about Next Food and how Food Factory for Us fits into Next Food.
First of all, thanks, Catherine, and also a warm welcome from my side. It's very nice to see all of you, and we are very excited to now start the competition and to spend the next 4 months together with you. Yes, so I will explain to you what Next Food is about. It's a Horizon 2020 project, as Catherine said. We are 20 partners scattered all over the world. And in essence, Next Food is it's a research and innovation action project where we try to very broadly drive the transition from conventional, traditional, linear education to action learning and to participatory learning, which happens not in the classroom, but outside the classroom in the complex world, on the farm, in the food industry, in the agri-food and forestry systems. Now, it's a well-known fact that climate change is ongoing and that in the world, we need solutions. We need to move to more sustainable farming and food systems. And in Next Food, we want to take action and to prepare learners with the skills and competences that are needed to push this green shift to more sustainable food and farming systems. As such, the Next Food model, as you see here on the screen, it challenges, as I said, this linear education paradigm by shifting the learning process from theory to phenomena, and also by shifting the focus to competences. I will come into this later. In the circle that you see, the model resembles in the way in which action learning is facilitated. We know that sustainability challenges are complex, and we need to work towards transforming education involving these processes where we engage teachers, advisors, students, and stakeholders in a more transdisciplinary process. Now, the project is built up around 12 cases, where Food Factory for Us is one of the cases. There are Each of the cases are educational activities. Some cases are agroecology courses. We have agroecology courses in Norway, in India, but there are also courses that focus more on other stakeholders. For instance, in Ethiopia, we have a case that is working with farmers, and they work with training farmers in so-called farmer training centers. By applying action learning to educational approaches, we will cultivate the development of these 5 so-called core competences that you see also in the gray box. That is observation, participation, dialogue, visioning, and reflection. And these core competences are believed to be essential change makers to push this green shift. And in the next slides, we will go through each of these 5 core competences. So the first core competence is dialogue. Now, dialogue is it's a process. It's, of course, a means of communication, but it's a process which helps us to notice the nature of the way in which we think. When we engage in dialogue, we increase our capacity to move into and also toward difficult issues. When we engage in dialogue, we expand our capacity to listen, but also to ask questions, even difficult questions, and to examine the assumptions we have behind asking specific questions. Dialogue is not like debate or discussion. Often in debate and discussion, you have winners and losers. But in dialogue, people build more on each other's ideas, and they develop a shared knowledge and shared understanding of a certain situation. The second core competence is reflection. Reflection is a way of thinking. It's a process of exploring and examining ourselves, but also our perspectives and our attitudes, our experiences. And it helps us to gain insight and to see how to move forward. It increases our ability to link our own experiences that we just experience to theory, to phenomenon, and to personal development. And one way you can reflect is to write a reflection log. We've prepared a template that you can use to rehearse reflection. It's not a requirement, it's not part of the competition, but it's a good way to start reflecting. And in this template, you can find it on the website. I think you can press the button, Catherine, and you see the document. If you press the switch slide. No? Yeah, here it is. So this is the template that we prepared. It's a reflection log. It's like a diary, actually.
I was putting it in the chat for everyone. That's why I got lost with advancing the slides.
So it's it's a good way that, for instance, after each of the online trainings, you can reflect about the experiences you had. What were the difficulties? What were the challenges? What did I experience? But you can also write it, for instance, when you meet with your teammates, or when you meet in a group with the other students, or when you meet with us as facilitators. You can write down, what exactly did I see? What happened? What did I experience? What did I feel and think about this? And what did I learn from it? Now, it's completely private. It's like a diary, but it's a good way of, as I say, obtaining a comprehensive picture of the situation.
We will do some reflection during the competition, but we don't require you to keep this reflection log.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. The third competence is observation. Observation is the capacity to carefully examine a situation that you are confronted with. Often, we very briefly observe, and then we immediately jump to conclusions or to judgments. But this is a capacity or a competence to extend this time a little bit longer. without trying to make assumptions or jumping into conclusions, but looking at the situation without being biased and to get a comprehensive overview of the situation. You can switch the slide. We'll try and do it very briefly. So what we would like you to do, we take 2 minutes and we look at the picture. We consider, what do we see? What are our immediate thoughts? What's happening in this picture, in the painting? And then put your comments in the chat box, and then we will talk about it after the 2 minutes. You can write your thoughts immediately, or you can write it right after the 2 minutes. That's up to you.
I will time 2 minutes. 2 minutes of silence to write what you see in the chat box.
Great. Okay. So I already see some comments. A woman posing with unease for a picture in the park. Another one, I see a triangle love. Seems to be in a park during the 19th century. The woman in the background may be looking at flowers. The other woman is maybe taking a break from her walk on a bench, and the man behind her is waiting for her. Two persons enjoy a beautiful place with flowers and good environment. Shadow and light. The brightness of the flowers in the background are contrasted by darker, more muted palette of clothing worn by the subjects. A couple in the park and also a woman passing by with an umbrella.
To me, it's very hard, or can be hard, to determine what is observation and what is interpretation. Sometimes it's clearly interpretation, a love triangle. We don't observe that at all. Sometimes it's clearly observation, a woman sitting on a bench wearing a dark colored dress. Sometimes we're not so sure. Is she very beautiful and charming? Is she tired? It's interesting to think about what is observation and what is interpretation.
Yes, It is.
Do you continue, Line?
I continue, yes.
Okay.
I think it, thanks very much for your comments. I think it's great to see the way in which you can explain what you see, and yeah. So moving from the ability to observe to the competence of participation, the fourth competence. Here we talk about participation, which means, as you see also in the picture, that's often easier for children actually, because they often just jump into a situation and they immediately feel part of it, but it can be more difficult for adults. But the ability or the ability to participate in a situation means being part of it, not standing outside as a distant observer, but rather with a personal commitment and dedication. But also engaging in that situation. It means working closely with your environment, and also to work with more concrete measures than only theory, finding out solutions together, and being part of that and engaging in it and feeling that you're a part of it also. Yes, and the fifth core competence is visioning. This is the process where we try to look forward. We try to connect with the values, what we think are important, the sense of purpose, where do we want to be, and we try to create mental images of a desired future state.
And we will do an exercise on this also later in the competition.
Yes.
And in the past, the students have really enjoyed this exercise.
Yes, exactly. It's a way of moving into the future and then going back and to decide on specific steps or measures or factors that can enable this process to from the present and to obtain the future desired state. Yes. So these were the 5 core competences that we work with in Next Food, and that we will also work with you in the competition. As Catherine say, in the different online trainings, we will work with these competences to foster and to cultivate them, and we will obtain data also for the purpose of the project itself.
So we start by remembering what the 5 competences are. Visioning is easy. We see it on the screen. When I first learned about this, I would practice a lot. What are those 5 competences again? Visioning, participation, observation, help me, reflection, and dialogue. Okay, so we will work a lot on these competences throughout the 4 months of the competition. And we move now to an active part of today's session. We're going to create breakout groups randomly. And so you may be with people on your team, but you will certainly be with people not on your team as well. And we do have faculty advisors and also members of the advisory board in the meeting. And since the breakout rooms are created automatically, you will also go into a breakout room, faculty advisors and advisory board members. So please stay silent in your breakout room or turn off your participation for 15 minutes. And the students in the breakout rooms, you will have 15 minutes to do what you see on this slide. We ask you to discuss best practices in food biodiversity. Now, you may already know about some, or maybe with your group, you will search together on Google or on other sites for practices in food biodiversity. And the aim of this 15 minutes is for the group to decide on 3 best practices that they like. I see some people writing this down, and you don't have to because we will share this slide with you. Okay, so you will be able to look at this while you're in the breakout group. Choose one person in your group who will be the rapporteur, and that person will present, and by present, I just mean talk. That person will take the microphone and say, in our group, the 3 best practices are 1, 2, 3. And I strongly suggest that in your group, you exchange contact information so that you can email or WhatsApp with the people in your group and decide by 1st of November, which is your #1 favorite best practice. And then you will tell that to Line and I. And we will try and talk about that in one of the sessions of this competition. That's the goal. Okay, so I'm going to start the breakout groups, and I'm going to put the link in the chat where you can go and look at this slide and see what the instructions are for the 15 minutes. It is now 14:30 in Southwest France, where I am, and at 14:45 in 15 minutes, we will stop the breakout groups and all come back together. So let's set that up. Somebody just arrived. If you have someone who's just arriving in your group, please help them out. They don't know what's going on. Breakout rooms. Okay. Options. Automatically. Can't seem to start it, Lene.
Can you assign people?
Yeah, I guess I can do that. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, so now people should be able to get a message to go to a room. Okay, everybody should be in a room now. Okay. I can send a message to everyone, Lene. I don't know, I don't think they can still hear us because they're all in their rooms.
They're in the room.
Yeah. So I'll just send a message to everyone in a room now. Okay, so now I have to put a new message with the link, right?
Yeah.
So let me get that. So maybe we can go around and visit some rooms. So this person seems to not be in the room. Sanjana, are you there?
Did you send the link with the questions?
Yeah, I sent the link with the questions. I just see one person who's not in a room. I don't understand why. You see, do you see her?
Yeah, I can try and write her.
It's Sanjana Labandisa. Because I don't see her in my list of people. Oh yeah, oh no, Christina just went in a room or left. Oh, here she is. She didn't join. I don't know why she didn't join. She must.
Wrote her if she was designated room.
Yeah, she should be in
Maybe
room 3. Okay.
She has no microphone, I think.
Yeah, she's probably not really connected.
Yeah.
I would really like to make a copy of all of the people, the names of everyone who's here. And somebody just arrived, but I can't.
Do you
I
see
can't
the
seem
rooms? Do you see the
Yes,
rooms?
I do. I see the rooms.
So maybe you could you make a screenshot and just so we know, and then we can see who's in which room.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to put this person in a room who just came.
Okay. Sorry, it's Christina, because
Hi, Christina.
I joined. I don't know if it's me that was out of the room. I entered the room, but I think I should not enter the room. So
right.
I can.
You did.
So
you did good.
I just did because you were concerned of one person, and I thought maybe it's
Right.
Christina.
No, thank you though. No,
Thank you.
It's not you. You're fine. Okay. And this other person, Aishwarya, seems not to.
Has no microphone, I think.
Okay. See, I can't. I even put you in a room.
No, but I said later.
Okay. Okay.
I think I cannot move between rooms.
You cannot move between the rooms. Okay, only I can, even though you're co-host. Okay.
I don't know how, because I don't see the rooms.
You don't see the rooms. Okay, I have to do several screenshots, unfortunately.
Okay.
The link I sent over the chat, they did not receive anything. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Okay. Yeah, you can see the rooms. Yeah. Okay, let me try this screenshot now. And it's small. It's like it's a kind of a drag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I can't make it bigger, so I have to. Let's see. Yeah, this is kind of a shame that only one of us can control things.
Yeah, it is.
I think this will be. Oh, I can make this bigger. Good. So one screenshot will do it. I think. Yeah, I think even if we had another license, that wouldn't matter. I don't think that takes. Can you do this? Okay, at least I got the list of all the people in the rooms, the 5 rooms and the people in it. So that's good. Let me save that.
Oh, Christopher writes, the link is not working within the groups.
What's not working?
The link.
Oh, I just sent it again. Okay, I'm going to write then what they have to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. If I can. We tested it, it worked. Let's see if we get it now. The timing is going pretty good. We'll give them in the 5 more minutes in the room, I think. And then we have the time, like when they're supposed to tell us 3.
I think until 45, no? Didn't say 15 minutes?
Yeah, until 45. And then 5 minutes for each group to tell us, so 1 minute per group to tell us their 3 practices. Okay. Yeah, so this Sanjana seems just not to be, like her connection isn't working or something.
Yeah.
And the other person too.
I wrote them in, but they didn't reply, so I guess they have.
I could see they didn't join.
Problems.
Yeah, they didn't join the room. Okay, so let me save this so I don't forget. Yeah, I think the mistake I made was to do it automatically, I had to press open all rooms, then it would have happened automatically. But I didn't realize I thought that was going to let me see in the rooms. So now I see that close all rooms, but they're going to close automatically actually. And I picked close automatically after 15 minutes. Okay. That's fine. So I do up to assignment 1, right? And then you do assignment 2. Yeah. Yeah, when you finish, okay. So I thought I put that it was supposed to close automatically. Let's wait another 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Be- because it started maybe 2 minutes after.
yeah. You set the time to 15 minutes, right?
Yeah. Maybe go in your room and see how they're doing. And I'll go in a room, not where Christoph is. Gerhard is in one room. Christoph is in room. We'll go in the room, maybe see what the hell it's going. I'll go in room 2. How was your group? Did you take a look? Okay. Okay, we should return. Oh yeah, I think so too. Okay.
Yeah, I think we should return.
Let's see now where that is. This is definitely a technological challenge.
Yeah, I'm sorry I can't help you.
That's okay. I'm doing okay. Okay, I'm closing all the rooms. Okay. They know they have 60 seconds now to close.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Am I still sharing my screen?
No.
No, okay. I'll share it again.
Yeah, now you are.
Okay. Oh, good. People are coming back. Good. Okay. Okay, so I think we have everyone back in the main room now. Excellent. So we're going to take now just 5 minutes for one person from each room to tell us just one of their favorite best practices in food biodiversity. So let's start with the people who were in group 1. Can someone in group 1 tell us what was happening? How about Diana? Are you there, Diana? You have to unmute yourself.
Hello, morning everyone. Well, it's morning here in Peru. Nice
Hello.
to meet you all. Well, we have some ideas for my group. We were talking about sustainable agriculture, food supplements, valorization of products or food waste. But I think we agree that sustainable agriculture was one of the best practices for food biodiversity.
Super, great. Thank you, Diana. Let's hear from someone in group 2. Is there a volunteer? Turn on your microphone.
Yes, hello. I think we are group 2. So we discussed a few topics. The first topic was gluten-free products. We believe that they're a common trend, especially with the global food issues that are occurring everywhere. And the second topic we actually revolved around was insect proteins. So this is also a huge market, getting a huge source of proteins from insects and waste, organic waste products. So it's like a double solution, two birds, one stone. And the final one was apicultural products, products that come or derived from bees, products such as honey, pollen, propolis, wax, and finally bee venom. These were very interesting topics. We didn't really come down to one topic. I
That's
think we
fine.
select one, but these are the three topics we discussed in our group.
Great, great. Thank you. And someone from group 3, is there a volunteer?
Me. My name is Edilson. Hello, everyone. And we talk about this strategy is like a chance include the public spaces and public institutions and private institutions. The private institutions promote similar like this course certifications to other people, improve the knowledge to reproduce this knowledge with other people to promote sustainable agriculture and sustainable strategies and to value the food biodiversity, increase the um, food security, and also reduce the uses about pesticides. My groups consider the most important part of all the strategies is education, because with this education other people share this knowledge with other peoples to value the food biodiversity. For example, in most countries implement strategies in schools, thinking in future generations.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Edilson. I see Edilson in group 4. Is there someone from group 3 who would like to speak? Ines or Natasha?
Sorry.
That's okay, no problem.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Natasha.
Yes, in group 3 we discussed how like in some countries we collect samples of crops from different areas of the country, and then they keep them in gene banks. And for like the future, if ever the climate changes, if ever something happens, then we have these crops for future plantation. We also talked about how the government put certain restrictions for certain kind of crops that are grown or products that are grown just in that country, so that they don't use it for commercial uses, but the local people can sell, but not really on a larger scale.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Natasha. And finally, someone in group 5. Is there a volunteer?
Yes, I can talk about group 5.
Great.
So we didn't really decide on one practice, but mainly our conversations were around development of new products. So some of them that were mentioned were vegan meat, usage of probiotics, and also using organic fertilizer instead of harmful chemicals. So that's what our conversations were.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks to all the groups. It's wonderful to hear from all of you. We'll take our last 5 minutes of today's meeting to talk about some official stuff. So I remind you here about the requirements for participation in this competition. All of you are teams of 3 to 5 master students, and teamwork is a part of the evaluation and one of the requirements. Your topic, of course, must be very specific. You must identify a problem and then a solution. about food biodiversity in your country. There are 4 criteria for evaluating your project: the project itself, and this includes teamwork. And teamwork means that the members of your team, they come to the trainings and they do the assignments. That's how you get the points for teamwork. The other ways of evaluating your project are your written report, your quality, your slides, and finally, your presentation at the final conference. Remind you that all of your ideas are protected by intellectual property rights, and you can see this on the website. If you want us to sign something more specific to protect your idea, you can send that to me and Line, and we will have the advisory board sign it. And I remind you that we have 5 more trainings, and the dates and the times are all on the website. Please be familiar with the website. Go there and look in the bar on the right-hand side, the navigation, and go and visit all of the different tabs, and you will find everything about this competition. Remind you that we are following the rules of any social media. We maybe put a picture from the meeting that we have, or we put a slide that you will show us in the next meeting about your team and your team's project, and the winning team, of course, we will put on LinkedIn and Facebook, and all of this is following the guidelines of these social media sites. Your first assignment is due in 2 weeks. It's at our next meeting, and each team will give a 5-minute presentation. One member of each team will give a maximum 5-minute presentation about an experience that they had in sustainable food biodiversity. And you can read the instructions for this presentation. They are on the website. You go to the online trainings tab and tells you exactly what we would like from you. We stress that it's maximum 5 minutes. We really like to start on time and end on time in these meetings. So please prepare something for the next meeting that we have. And remember, you are not graded on what you prepare. The important thing is that you show up and you do it. So it is not anything to be stressed about, something nice to do, to share an experience that you had. And I think Lina will tell you about the other assignments.
The second assignment is the result of this exercise we just did right now. So we ask each of these 5 breakout groups that you were just put into to submit one idea of those that you discussed. Yes. On a best practice in food biodiversity. We ask you to send this idea by the 1st of November. And in case you didn't exchange contact details, we will share with you a Google document where you can enter your name and your email address. And then it's up to you to organize your breakout groups and to decide on an idea that you want to submit by the 1st of November. Please send your idea in email to the email address you see here, ssc@iseki-food.com. These ideas we will collect from each of the 5 breakout groups, and we will cover the topics in the student suggestion online training, which will take place the 13th of January 2021 at 2 o'clock. You can see all the times of the online trainings on the website in the navigation bar under important dates and under online trainings. The third assignment is for you to pick a slot, a time slot in the week of the 30th November, where we, Catherine and we would like to meet with at least 2 members from each team to talk about your progress of your project, and for you to give you an opportunity to ask us questions and for us also to ask you questions. We will share this Google Drive document with you now within the next week, and you can pick a time slot.
And we remind you that this is private, so you don't give any information about your secret solution to anyone else in the competition. It will just be your team with me and Line.
Exactly. Yeah, I think exactly. And then we will end the competition in the end of January, where you will be submitting your project presentations and your reports. And the coming 2 weeks of the beginning of February, the advisory board will review your project reports and your presentations. And at the final virtual conference in the week of 15 February, we will also soon decide on the specific time. All teams will present their projects. We will also, this will be an open event, so we will invite industry and multiplier representatives. And the winning team is then chosen. Yay! The prize for the winning team is an award of 300 euros, sponsored by ISEKI-Food Association. Then we give you a guaranteed oral presentation in the ISEKI Food 2021 conference in Cyprus in June 2021 for one team member, plus free conference registration and economy airfare in Europe for 1 or 2 nights. Then you're also invited to join, one of the team members is also invited to join the next.
Has to be a different person, right? The same team member cannot go to both events.
Right. A different team, winning team member is invited to join the next food project meeting. And here the prize also includes economy airfare in Europe for 1 or 2 nights lodging, and the opportunity to present the team project in the conference. Of course, we also issue certificates, winning certificates to the winning team and to all team members. At every one of you that complete the competition, we also issue certificates of participation. Yeah. So now we got to the final slide. Just as a reminder, you can find all the assignments that we mentioned now, including also the slides from today, on the project website. All the assignments are explained just as they are here in the slides under important dates. And one final very, very important point is for you to fill in the survey. As I said, you're participating in the next food project, and it's important that we collect data about you, your goals, and your expectations about the competition. So we kindly ask each single one of you to fill in the learner evaluation, which you also find in the navigation bar on the website, the latest by the 22nd of October. So you have 1 week. That's very, very important. With this, I think we don't have anything else.
There are a couple of questions in the chat. I'm just responding to them. But we will put the presentation on the website later this afternoon or tomorrow. And the assignment to give your one best practice is for not for your team, but from the group that you formed today. Okay, so we expect to have 5 ideas for best practice, 1 from each group. Okay.
Yes, and as I said, just for you to be able to exchange information about how to get in contact with each other, we will share a Google Doc so you can get in contact with each other either per email or if you prefer having an online meeting, whatever you prefer.
Okay. Edison, do you have a question? No? You're okay? Okay. Is everyone okay? Is there anyone who's not okay? All right then. It has been super meeting you. What a fabulous 1 hour we just spent.
Yes.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Thank you for your
Yes, I hear you. Someone wants to ask something.
My name is Isaac. So as you mentioned, we have 3 assignments, and all these 3 assignments will be done with the newly assigned groups?
No, they are done The only assignment that is with the newly assigned group is the one to send your best practice.
Okay, exactly.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. The other assignments are this student presentation for the student webinar is with your team. Okay. And the one for the best practice is with your newly assigned group. And the one for your project review is with your team.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, if you have any other questions, you're always welcome to send us emails. We're happy to help you and answer your questions.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you so much.
Okay. Pleasure to meet all of you and look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
See you.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.